Welcome to the story world.
In a small village nestled at the foot of a beautiful hill, there lived a sweet, sweet girl named Annie. She lived with her parents and three older brothers, John, Jacob, and Neil. Annie was very good and hardworking, but her three brothers were a bit mischievous and lazy. One day, her parents went on a long journey to visit God. As they left home, the father said to the eldest son, John,
"Children, take care of each other and don't bother Annie."
The mother embraced Annie, and they set off on their journey. As soon as their parents were out of sight, a mischievous glow appeared on the faces of the three brothers. John, the eldest and cleverest, said,
"Come on, brothers, now the real fun begins. We'll make Annie do all the work and rest ourselves."
The next morning, with the first rays of the sun, John woke Annie. He placed an old clay pot in front of her. There was a large hole in the bottom of the pot. John gave her a very short and frail rope and said,
"Annie, fill this pot with water from the well. Remember, the pot must be full. If the water spills or you're late, you won't get dinner."
Annie reached the well with a sad heart. She saw that the well was very deep and the rope was so short that it couldn't reach the water. Above all, there was a hole in the pot. Annie sat there and started crying.
How will I fill it with water? My brothers are deliberately harassing me.
Just then a voice came from the well's parapet. A female snake and a fat frog lived in the cool water of the well. Annie often fed the birds near the well, so they recognized her. The female snake came out and said,
Don't be afraid, daughter. Your kindness has compelled us to help you today.
In no time, the female snake entwined itself with Annie's short rope. Its long body became a strong and long rope. Meanwhile, the frog came croaking and sat tightly on the hole in the pitcher. As soon as Annie lowered the pitcher into the well, it filled to the brim. The frog closed the hole so tightly that not a single drop of water spilled. When Annie arrived home, John's eyes widened in astonishment. He couldn't understand how this miracle happened. The next day it was the other brother, Jacob. She took out her dirtiest clothes from the cupboard, which were deeply stained with mud and oil. She said to Annie,
"Annie, take these clothes and go to the pond and wash them. They must be as white as milk, but remember, I haven't given you soap. If even one stain remains, you'll have to clean the entire house alone."
Annie reached the pond with a heavy heart. Her hands turned red from scrubbing the stone without soap, but the stains wouldn't go away. Exhausted, she rested her head on the stone and began crying. Just then, a snow-white crane descended from the sky. The crane bent its long neck and said,
"Annie, you bandaged my broken leg last winter. I haven't forgotten that kindness. Today I'll help you."
The crane gathered the dirty clothes between its wings and began rubbing its magically white body against them. The crane's feathers had a natural shine. As soon as it touched the clothes, all the stains evaporated. When Annie brought the clothes home, they shone brighter than new. Jacob's mouth dropped open. On the third day, the youngest brother, Neil, thought of the most difficult task. He mixed 5 kilograms of rice and 5 kilograms of wheat grains from the kitchen and made a huge pile like a mountain. He said,
"Annie, today's game is very interesting. You have to separate each grain of rice from this pile, one by one, and the wheat from the other. If you find even one grain mixed up by evening, you'll have to sleep outside tonight."
Annie looked at the huge pile.
So much work. How will I do it alone?
She sat down to work, but her little fingers soon began to ache. It was almost evening, and the pile remained the same. Just then, a small sparrow descended from a nearby banyan tree. It was Annie's friend. The sparrow made a special chirping sound. Within moments, the sky turned dark as clouds. Hundreds of sparrows and other small birds arrived. They all pounced on the pile together. Their tiny beaks moved so fast, as if a machine was running. The sparrows picked up the rice and put it in another basket. The whole task was completed in just an hour. Neil watched from the window and couldn't believe his eyes. The brothers saw that Annie overcame every difficulty, so John set the toughest and strangest condition yet. He pointed to the highest peak of a distant blue mountain, where snow remained frozen year-round. Viru said,
Annie, an ancient golden flute of our ancestors is kept in a cave on the highest peak of that mountain. I have heard that whoever plays it brings happiness and peace to the home. That flute must be in our courtyard before sunset, otherwise you will not step inside the house.
Annie's heart sank. The mountain was so high that the clouds floated up to her waist. The path was narrow, rocky, and icy. Annie began climbing the hill. The cold wind bit her face and the stones stung her feet. Halfway up, she sat down exhausted on a cold rock and sobbed.
My brother knows I can't climb this high. Only clouds can reach there. How will I go?
Just then a loud scream came from the sky. A huge golden eagle descended, tearing through the clouds. It was the same eagle Annie had rescued from a hunter's net as a child. The eagle looked at Annie with its sharp eyes and said,
Little friend, why are there tears in your eyes? You once saved my life. Today my flight will be useful to you. Sit on my back and close your eyes.
Annie fearfully grabbed the eagle's huge wings. In a single stroke, the eagle began talking to the wind. The high mountains, dense forests, and flowing rivers all seemed small like toys. In the blink of an eye, the eagle lowered Annie out of the icy cave. Annie picked up the glittering golden flute from inside the cave. The sun was about to set. The eagle lifted Annie again and landed directly in the courtyard of her house. As soon as Annie's feet touched the ground, the eagle disappeared into the sky. When Annie stood in the courtyard of her house with the glittering flute, the three brothers froze like stone statues. They had watched from the window as a huge bird brought their sister down from the clouds at lightning speed. They now understood that Annie possessed no magic, but the power of her good heart. Tears welled up in John's eyes. He said,
Sister, please forgive us. We've troubled you a lot with our laziness and mischief. We forgot that you're our younger sister, not a maid.
Jacob and Neil also promised Annie that from now on they would help her with all the household chores. All three brothers had become hard-working, and Annie had become everyone's favorite. This story teaches us, our kindness never goes in vain. It always comes back to us in some form or another. Furthermore, true happiness lies in living together with our loved ones. True strength lies not in the body or mind, but in good character. Forgiving each other's mistakes and living together in harmony within the family is what makes a home a heaven.
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Also press the bell icon.